Hi everyone, Danny James here, and today we are going to be learning how to add fire onto eyes, how to track different objects on your subject faces, where to find the different assets to use, and more. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, and if you end up enjoying the tutorial, give it a like. It's free, and without further ado, let's get right into it. We're on Adobe After Effects right now, and we're going to be adding this fire and other objects onto these artists' set of eyes. Let me just play the video so that you can see what you're going to be working with. So you can see the clip sort of, it moves so much, but that's no problem. The first thing we're going to do, click on your clip, make sure to have it highlighted, and then find your trackers tab. It should be right here. If you cannot find it, go to Windows and ensure tracker is enabled. And then what we want to do, we want to track this motion. Click on motion. Now it's time to set up this track point. I'll make it a little bit larger. Now, since you are tracking the eyes of the subject, I'll sort of use the eyes as a guide right now. Generally, you can use anywhere on your video as long as there is a good contrast. For now, I'll just take it maybe to the eyes, right at the pupil, and then I'll make this bigger one a little bit bigger, and this here. And then I'm zooming out, I'm holding Alt and my scroll wheel. Now right after that, we want to track going forward. We're using one track point, we don't need to track the rotation and scale. Unless we needed to do that, we'd enable these, which would give us a second track point, which is not what we need right now. So I'm hitting Ctrl Z, and then we need to track this going forward. You can analyze it going one frame by one frame, just clicking here, or you can let the computer do everything by itself going forward. Now it's doing a good job so far. Let's see what it does. Yeah, you can see it's still following the eyes pretty well, which is promising for now. Let's see what it does. We are now at almost 3 seconds. The footage is almost 6 seconds long. So you can see right about here it lost the eyes, so I'm going to redirect this one and put right into the eyes, and then I'll go the next frame, put it also on the eyes. And if that's too much, you can just delete your tracker points, maybe from right here. I'm highlighting all of them, click delete. Now if I go back one frame, you can see we've been doing a good job so far. And if you're ever a little bit pessimistic, just hit spacebar, and then you can scroll back, going back to see if it has been getting things right. Like for now, you can see it's been doing a good job up to here. I let it go on. Okay, my computer seems to be doing a great job after all. So I hope you've learned how to delete keyframes, how to go whenever the computer doesn't do a good job and do it manually yourself. And I let it run up to these 4 seconds. I won't go past here, so I'll hit Ctrl Shift D and delete that extra part. Now from this step, what you need to do, you need to right click, create a new null object. It's basically where we can place this tracking information. Click back on your clip, and then back on your tracker you should see these options. Now click on edit target, make sure it goes to the null object, and then apply. Accept everything, say okay. Now if we go to our null object and hit U to view our keyframes, they've been pasted there, which means that you can now delete our tracking information on this clip. Now from here, the next step is how to find assets. I found a few websites really helpful to find these. There are several websites. In case you're looking for pictures, I just went to unsplash.com, looked for $. You can see there's some really good stuff. You can even get something like this one and make a mask around it on After Effects. Should be super easy to use it. And there was also this very good website. It's called iconape.com. I looked for $, and there were very many variations that came with it. I think I can go for something as random as tools. The problem is that it will bring me logos mostly, so I don't know. I can select only icons. Yeah, you see, you can find some small stuff that you can use. And when it comes to videos, Footage Crate is really useful. It's a paid version if you want to get everything, but for the free stuff, you're able to get something good. I just touched fire and I'd go for like fire bursts, and then there are some which are free which you can get. Go for the ones which don't have these star, which means it's for pro members. Something like this one doesn't have that star, so you can have it. And you can see there are very many variations. You can easily download it here, and now it's downloading right now, so you can get more stuff on this website. It's really hard to find free stuff like this for motion graphics that you can implement. You can see there they have very many elements, even if it's blood elements, water and ice, all that. Now that we've found our assets which you can use, we're going to start with the first asset, and this is the fire burst. Just drag it on top of your composition and look at it. So that's pretty good. We need to scale it down, hit S, make it a little bit smaller. And then if you need to have it rotate, because we can't have a fire like facing towards the right hand side, just hit on this to enable it to have 3D properties. And now we can rotate it depending on how we find it best. Like this is on a Z axis sort of, so you can change the orientation too. Not so much, just like that. And then I'll hit U to collapse everything. Come back to the first frame. I'll trim the fire till the place which I want, like here, and then I'll drag it back here. The second thing you have to do is to position it maybe on the eyes. So I'm zooming in, I'll position it right in front of these eyes. And right after that, just parent it to the null object by picking this pick whip and then direct it here. This means that it will follow the tracking points of the null object. So if we play the video, you can see it follows the artist. Now we want this to keep on appearing for the next 4 seconds. We are going to right click on it and then pre-comp. On this pre-composition, we'll loop it. We want the fire to not die down, so at this point we are going to hit Ctrl+Shift+D, so it ends, it continues right there. And then we want this part to keep on recurring, this bit right here, so I'm going to hit Ctrl+Shift+D, and then I'll delete this on top, so it will go from here to here. Now all you need to do, you need to duplicate this one severally and drag it. Just duplicate it and drag it. In case it doesn't go on for long as you want, you can come back to the composition settings. Now we are adjusting the settings for this one. You can make it go for 4 seconds. Now we have some more space. I'm going to click on the third one, and on the first one I'll holding shift, hit Ctrl+D, and then drag it on this side. So right after this one, they need to appear right here. So it's somehow continuous right now. And if you need it to go for a little bit more time, just click on everything except the last one, hit Ctrl+D, drag it, just find where you had the last one, which is here, and make sure this one comes right here. Now we have a continuous fire burst. Now we can go back to our composition and extend this. That's basically it. Now we want it to appear also on this other eye. Hit Ctrl+D on this layer, and then you can hit P to move it to the right hand side. And now if we play both of these, it should look quite good. Yeah, that's basically it. You can keep on fine-tuning it, maybe if it's moving it towards the eye perfectly. Let me go on the first frame right in front of the eye, and also this other one right here. Zoom out, watch it from a distance and see what it looks like. So I don't like this second one, it needs to go a little bit higher. I'll have to also squeeze it, so just take your time to position it. From the original position, it should go on quite well. Just like that, we're able to make fire eyes onto the artist. Now the other way, we can drag pictures. Let me hide these 2 layers and let me drag a picture. It's in black, that's why we can't see it. It's a $sign. Now I want to make it white, so I'll drag a color balance, put it on this one, and then I'll increase the lightness. Now it's white. I'll scale it down just like that. Position it also. I'll hit P, put it on the left hand side. I'll drag this pick whip and parent it to the null object. Now it will follow it perfectly. You can duplicate it, position the second one right on the eyes, and now we have a good tracking done. Let me just take my time to put it perfectly. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, and that's it guys. If you made it this far, thank you for watching this video. Comment if you have any suggestion or any question that you need to ask, and I'm happy to interact with you guys. If you enjoy such content, give it a like, subscribe because I make weekly videos. My name is Danny James. See you in the next video. Cheers.